Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to today's show. And I just want to check if you can see me. You can see me on the YouTube. Am I visible? If somebody can just write in the chat box that you can see me. Can you write in the chat box whether you can see me or not? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to today's show. And I just want to check if you can see me. You can see me on the YouTube. Am I visible? If somebody can just write in the chat box that you can see me. Can you write in the chat box whether you can see me or not? Welcome to today's show, and I just want to check if you can see me. You can see me on the YouTube. Am I visible?
Everything is, if it is energy, let me see you getting up with energy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Brigadier Sushil Basin on the Time Brigade, and I'm going to be talking to you today on goals. So, as some of you must have been watching, we started this about 6 days back, and every day at 5 p.m., I come on live to talk something about your goals. Now, goals, as I keep saying, every year we set goals, and that's fine. But the template that we have used for previous years is not applicable now because the years 2020 and 2021 have come to us as unique years, a pair of twin 2 years which have really challenged us. They have toughened us. And now we are facing some type of uncertainty in the midst of hope and aspirations and opportunities that are on the horizon. How do I, with my goals, make sure that I get the best out of 2021? So, in the series of what we've been talking about, today I will go a step ahead from what I spoke yesterday on habits. I spoke about self discipline and habits. And to recapitulate, if I want to achieve anything in this year, I need to be very sure that does it come from within my heart? Am I really that person who's determined, who's got willpower, and who's very, very certain that I will make sure that I achieve my goals? I have no excuses. I will not blame anyone for it. Nothing of that sort. I'm going to be determined to achieve my goals. And I will have clarity on what do I want. There's a very, very favorite sentence of mine. Why don't people get what they want? Because they don't know what they want. So we must have clarity on what we want. It is something like a GPS. You know your destination, you know your present point, get into the race direction, and you will be heading there. So today, let's talk of the role that your own self discipline, your habits, and then we talk about rituals. And let's also see what is the difference. What is the difference between habits and rituals? We're going to have a look at that, right? So at the moment, we are here to talk about whatever we have said about habits and rituals. Why do I spell them differently? And the spelling RICH, and I write that in capitals, and UALS. Why do I have the spelling for rituals? Because I want to emphasize that the habits that you have formed, and when you go consciously to develop them with the aim of your goal in mind, they become very rich. And that is why I call them rituals. So, rituals, in short, are rich habits. What do these rituals do for us? They help us to stick to the planned, scheduled, and developed routines. That means I have realized that my body requires to follow a pattern which is easy for it to understand. It knows what's coming next. It is not subjected to jerks and jolts. It is not subjected to obstacles. It is not subjected to unnecessary, avoidable changes that it doesn't like. So, can I give my body a routine, a type of a systematic uh, actions that is required to be taken to be able to reach where I want to reach? So, therefore, if I go a step ahead, and a lot of people say, but what is the difference between habits and rituals? And really speaking, they're not the same, but yet they're the same. It is basically a habit. And when you make a habit rich with a focus and power to achieve your goals, it becomes a ritual. Now, before I go more into these rituals, let me tell you something. And many of you will be knowing it. Maybe I'm recapitulating for you that our human brain is not designed for development, it is designed for surviving. All that the human brain does is to give you a caution. It brings fear into your mind because its job is to survive. And therefore, when you start building your rituals from the emotions of fear, anger, anxiety, stress, distraction, you are not going to be able to get the best out of yourself. So, to get the best out of yourself, first you need to be in the correct emotional state. So, when you get up in the morning, the first thing is start developing your morning rituals which bring you to a state of peak performance. This is Tony Robbins' learning that I picked up from him when he says maintain the peak state. Peak state. And there are many other people who have contributed to add further to it, like Sam Cawthon talks about the power move. So I'm going to be telling you in a nutshell all that I've learned from these top leaders. Basically, it is to bring yourself to a state, a mental, emotional state of determining what you want to achieve and get down to achieving it. It is very difficult for you to be, for example, building up a goal or talking about something which is very hopeful, aspirational when you are angry, when you are fearful. So, therefore, the first thing I need to do is get my body, my mind into a synchronization, into solid peak state of performance mentally. So, what we normally do is, and Tony Robbins makes us do this in his UPW, but let me tell you, we in India have been doing it for years and years. And this exercise, which he makes everyone do in yoga, is called Bhastrika, where you take your hands up, clench your fists, you breathe up like this, and then you clench your fists and bring them down with a downward jerky movement and breathe out through your nose. Okay. And it goes like this. Your breath, your control in the breath, your focus on your breath, what we call pranayam, is a very, very powerful way of getting into an action in the morning, which gets you to peak state. You must have also known, and I talked of it yesterday, is priming, like you prime a hand pump. Okay, so in the morning, you're priming yourself, you're priming your energy. So let your energy go up and then consciously bring it down, down to your inner self, to your legs, to your feet, and down into the ground. You get grounded. Okay, so do this to be conscious of what we want to achieve that day. This exercise with a little yoga, going for a walk, coming back, is physically and mentally charging you to make that day great for you. Now, whether you listen to Robin Sharma, Tony Robbins, Sam Cawthon, all these people talk of one thing, and that is to get into a ritual in the morning, which should not only be physical exercise, but also get into a mental state and exercise of what do you want to achieve that day. And I go a step further and say this you should have discussed last night in your me time just before going to bed, and now you're revising it. So the whole night, your subconscious mind has rested with that thought that tomorrow, this is what I'm going to achieve. I'm not talking about to-do list, I'm talking about to achieve list, because I want to go beyond just doing, I want to achieve. So what are those 2 or 3 things that I'm going to be achieving today is going to be something in my mind, right? Okay, so let's go further and go into this state that I'm trying to create, and then come for gratitude. Okay, what am I grateful for? And what do you ask God for? For protecting you against evil, protecting you against ill health, protecting yourself against anything that can go wrong. Okay, whichever God, whatever energy, whatever universe you believe in, seek forgiveness for what you have done, express gratitude for what you have got, And that is going to prime you in the morning. And that is what I'm talking about, a morning ritual right now. Now, when you do these rituals, you will be able to maintain your work life balance. You will give priority to your family, to other things like your health and your spiritual space, your friends, your entertainment, your social media, and so on, which is essential to our happiness. We want to have a balance there, right? And we can now see in our country, we are so lucky. Look at what your elders did for you. My grandmother used to get up at 4:30 every day of her life. No Saturday, no Sunday, no weekend. And she didn't go through these workshops. She just realized how important or how powerful her life became because of those rituals. Can you look back at those and say what made them do it? They didn't require motivation. They didn't require to read books and go to YouTube to watch videos. They just did it. And let's just do it, right? So following your daily routine with your time check that I've been talking about can help us to be really, really more productive. So rituals help us in many ways. They help us in getting to a right frame of mind. They get us to make right decisions. They make us get determined to achieve our goals, and they make life good for us, right? So I'm going to leave you here with this thought in your mind that this is what we are looking at. And tomorrow, I'm going to carry on to another step of rituals, and which will be going beyond just the morning ritual, telling you more about how these rituals really play a great part in our life, and looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next session on Set It, Get It, you achieving your breakthrough goals in 2021. Stay tuned in and look forward to seeing you. Bye bye and all the best. Thank you.